So I always knew things were bad, right? I always knew that, yeah, America probably doesn't have a shot in hell on recovering, right? I always knew just things were, not likely to get better. But I did not know, I was not aware that things were this bad. Yes, I just came into the awareness. Yes, I did. The after pill just came into the awareness. I thought things were bad. I did. I thought things were mucho malo. I thought things were, as bad as it can get. No, I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. I was off the mark, right? I don't know why I was off the mark, but I was off the mark. Things are much worse than they actually are, right? I thought that, large sums of men had some fight left. That's what I thought. I thought large sums of men were, just ready to take on the world, ready to reclaim whatever masculinity that is left in this country. Right? I thought that was the big beacon of the Batman signal. Right? Yeah, things may be ugly, but men are doing what they're supposed to do. Men are at least segments of them. Right? No, I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong, right? Especially with the younger generation. Nah, this shit is horrible. This it is bad, right? And I'm gonna explain this. It was this conversation that I was having with a group of young men and one older man, right? One older man, and we were just talking about just striving for excellence, right? Living in abundance, right? Attaining all that you can attain, right? Getting all the accolades that you can, just striving to be just best, right? Having multiple cars, having properties, having multiple women, if that's what you choose to do, right? We're just talking about just an expansive mindset, right? And the fact of the matter is that these men could not fathom any of it, right? They could not fathom any of it. They could not fathom an abundance mindset. They couldn't fathom somebody having such uh uh what's the word I'm looking for? They couldn't fathom someone having such an expansive mind and wanting to go above, beyond, and forever. They could not handle it, right? And in fact, many of them were content with being losers. Yes, content with being losers. They are okay with not fighting for a damn thing. They are okay with just being losers. They are okay with being mediocre. They're okay with not achieving anything, even for themselves. They're okay with not going to the gym. They're okay with not having any discipline. They're okay with not traveling the world. Hell, they're okay with not leaving the state of Texas. They're okay with the bare bones of life. And these are the next group of men that are supposed to lead the country. These are the group of men that are supposed to be the beacons of hope. These are the groups of men. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. If this is what's supposed to lead us into a new generation of leadership, if this is what's supposed to lead us into some prosperity in the future, yeah, we're all fucked essentially. We're all fucked. And the truth of the matter is that what I have to start understanding, what I have to start realizing is uh much of my generation has given up. And when I say my generation, I'm talking about between 18, really 18 to 28. 18 to 28, that's my generation, right? 18 to around 28. I guess we can push to 30 because you talk about older Gen Z, but 18 to 28, that's my generation. They've simply given up. The young man in that age group has simply given up. They don't want to do anything. They don't care to achieve nothing. They don't care to travel. They don't care to have beautiful women. They just want to be Smeagol's. They just want to be Smeagol's, man. Right? My little precious. Yes, they want to be Smeagol's. Right? And then older millennials have also given up. Many of them have been divorced 2 times already. Right? Some of them are on their second marriage. Some of them are, trying to figure it out. Some of them have been divorced to the point where now they're trying to figure out, how am I going to retire? Probably not going to be able to retire because the wife took all the 401k, took the home, took the kids, right? So older millennials, they're in their second phase of life, second phase of adult life, and they're trying to figure it out, and they don't know which way to turn, right? They were lied to as well. It's just an all around horrid situation, man. And I'm just looking around and I'm like, how in the world did it get this bad? Is it really any reversing it? I don't think so, because there is no fight. There is no testosterone. Testosterones probably have reached peak lows at this point. I'm sure of it, because if men have no drive, right? If they have no drive, no motivation, no ambition, right? No fight to do anything. Well, that low testosterone has to be a significant indicator of the lack thereof. And I think we've reached peak low T's in American history. Peak low T's. Peak. And then there's many things that's attributed to that: poor diets, poor lifestyles, right? Over assumption of alcohol, over assumption of vaping and smoking and not exercising, and stress as well. Gen Z definitely is completely stressed out. Men in general in today's time is completely stressed out. Don't know how to be men in today's society. So yeah, it is bad. It is bad. And you would think that you could be some kind of, spark in them, right? You would think that you could be some kind of, you yourself be some kind of Batman signal, be some kind of beacon of hope for them, to let them know, like, hey, uh, I was once in your shoes. I did this, that, and the third. I went through these steps, and I go through stuff all the time, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I work out, and I boom, boom, boom. You would think that that would be some kind of, okay, here's this example right here who's actually taking the steps, and he's going through the process of becoming, but that's still not enough. It's still not enough. And it's not because they can't, because many can. This is the crazy part. Many can absolutely do it, but they're scared, fearful, right? And this is why some people say slavery was a choice, right? This is why many people have said slavery is a choice, right? It's because people are literally choosing to remain in bondage. People are literally choosing to allow their mind to be wrapped up in chains, right? Remember the Harriet Tubman saying, said she could have freed more slaves if they just knew that they were slaves, right? Some people are willfully ignorant, and some of them just unaware. Many of them know that they're in bondage and just don't want to do anything because they're scared of actually having the freedom to make their own choices. Right? This is why we seen the big uproar with SNAP benefits being canceled. This is why we see such a big uproar with government assistance and all other safety nets being eradicated, right? And not saying that, that there shouldn't be, any types of safety nets, but you have people who've been on these safety nets for forever. You have forever safety netters, right? But you have people in a big uproar. Why? because people don't want to figure anything out on their own, right? America has long created a dependency on the system, right? And this goes for men as well. This goes for everybody. America has created a dependency. Listen, we as Americans are addicted to all kinds of things. We're addicted to drugs, opiates, methamphetamines, marijuana, right? We're addicted to dopamine hits, Instagram, scrolling, social media, right? We're addicted to living above our means, credit card debt, student loan debt, borrowing money that we don't have, to flex on people who don't care, to purchase cars that we really can't afford on paper, right? We're dependent on a system that does not work in our favor. So when that gets snatched away, people don't know what to do. So when I'm sitting here having conversations, with young men, men my age, older men, when I'm sitting right here having these conversations, you got to realize that many people just don't want to accept responsibility and accountability over their own lives. People are literally choosing enslavement. And I think Charleston White had dropped an episode on somebody's channel. There was a stream on somebody's channel, but he said that we're entering into new slavery again. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And it's not by color. It is not by ethnicity, right? At this point, it is literally by choice. It's by choice now. It's not really being forced, right? Because we have access to too much information, too much knowledge, right? Too much wisdom. There's so much out here to help you gain that freedom, right? There's so much out here to just help you get to wherever you need to be, whichever route that you want to take. There's literally no excuses today. But people will literally see the signs. They will see the Batman signal, right? They'll see the Batman signal in the sky and they will ignore it, right? And this is similar to how the Matrix played out, right? Everybody did not want to wake up. Look at the process that Neo, and I love referring back to the Matrix, by the way, because it's just so pivotal, right? And it was so realistic, especially on a metaphorical level it essentially is realistic in real time, right? But see how sick Neo was when he had to go through the process, right? When he finally had to awaken, when he finally had to see the world for what it was, when he was finally forced to change, right? But in the beginning, he still had to make a choice. He had to make a choice to force that change. But he still ended up being sick. He still ended up having to be remodeled in a sense, right? His old self had to die for his new self to become alive. And quite frankly, most men, most people do not want to go through that, because that means shedding a whole reality, right, that you put up for yourself that quite frankly does not exist, right? See, the reason why I'm able to maneuver like water the way that I am, because I have to acknowledge that there's multiple realities that I can exist in, right? I don't hold on to one identity. I don't hold on to a singular identity. I have to be in motion. I have to be able to go with the flow, move like the air, right? I have to be here. I have to be there, right? Which is honestly good for the mind, because then it releases the ego, right? It releases the pride, right? Because I have no attachment to it. Many people have attachment to their false realities. They have attachments to things that really don't exist, that they just put up. They put up false prophets for themselves, right? Or they put up just false walls, right, for themselves, because that's how people are able to exist in a world that is honestly chaotic. And that's how people are able to cope with life. But I honestly didn't know it was to this extent, to such an extent where even me just talking breaks down barriers. It breaks down people, right? To the point where uh, one of these guys, they got so upset with me, right? Because he just and me and honestly, I accepted his life for what he wanted to be. See, he said that listen, he said that he just wanted to be content with whatever he had. He wanted to be content with a mediocre, ugly wife. Yes, his wife is ugly. I went there, right? He wanted to be content with that. Mind you, he's 19 years old, right? He wanted to be content with mediocrity, right? He wanted to be content with mediocrity. That's what he called a W. He called that a W. He called that a win, right? He just had a kid. Shouts out to him, right? Hope everything works out fine, right? But I'm not in the business of coddling emotions. I'm not in that business, right? But still, I granted him asylum. I granted the ninja asylum. I didn't want to go to war with him. He right? He couldn't fathom the life that I wanted to live and live right now, right? I accepted his life. I said, you want to be mediocre? You want to live a mediocre life? You want to have a mediocre woman, right? You only want one woman. Shouts out to you. But that's not the life I'm living. That's not the life I want to live. I want to live an abundance life. I want more than one woman. I want more than one car. I want more than one house. I want an abundant lifestyle. I want to eat steak every day. I want to eat ribeyes and filet mignons, right? I want to work hard and party hard. That's what I want to do. And if that's not what you're trying to do, then get out the way. And he couldn't handle that. Even when I accepted his identity, he could not accept mine. He could not accept my reality because you know why? Deep down, he knew that he didn't have what it takes to be as confident as I am. He knew deep down that he was nowhere near my level. He knew deep down that he could not understand how a man could be so confident and firm in what he believes, right? And everything that he was saying, he I doubt he even believed it. I doubt he even believed any word that he spoke because he was very shaky, right? That happens when you really don't have any experience, honestly. When you don't have any experience, when you don't have any real life lessons, right? Especially at 19, right? You really don't even you can't really stand firm. There's very rare that would be a rare breed of man at 19 to stand firm in whatever he believed in because he hasn't lived long enough. He hasn't been through enough trials and tribulations, right? He's accepting a reality that really doesn't exist because he hasn't been hit upside the head with a brick yet, multiple bricks, right? I've been hit upside the head with multiple bricks, right? But this goes back to my saying that I'm not here to save everybody. I'm not here to save everybody, right? There's only going to be the top 10, top 20% of people who actually want to win. Everybody else is going to get left behind. Everybody else to look. Listen, the Noah's Ark is about to leave. Noah's Ark is about to leave. Ninja, y'all got a few more years, right? I'm packing up all the animals, right? I got the 2 giraffes, 2 elephants, 2 lions, the 2 monkeys, right? I'm loading up the ship right now. Other people are loading up the ship too. And once that water come, I don't come running towards the ship. No. Don't come running towards the ship. The ship doesn't sail now. After the ship sail, prices go up. After the ship sail, it ain't no more. It ain't no more of it. I tried to tell you. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you to get on your game. I tried to tell you that the 9 to 5 system is dying, and you better start switching right now. You better start maneuvering right now. You better start becoming business oriented right now. You better start becoming AI savvy right now. You better start going to the extreme right now. If you got to live in your car, you better start doing it so you can stack up money, so you can buy a piece of land, so you can buy a piece of real estate, so you can get a passport and go explore other lands and probably buy real estate for much cheaper. And then boom, boom, boom. Listen, that's too much for you. That's Patreon. That's YouTube members coming soon. Right? I tried to tell you, but I made this video, right? Because we got off a little topic right there. I made this video to basically uh really for myself that damn, I didn't know it was this bad. I didn't know it was this bad. The fighting spirit is dead amongst men, right? Red pill, we know that's dead. I mean, most of the guys out here are losers. You know, it is what it is. But no fighting spirit, no fighting bone in their body. They want to be mediocre. They're accepting the lowest common denominator of life and don't care to achieve anything, climb the ladder, don't care to do anything. And it's really sad because our society can't progress and move forward into prosperity, regardless of who's trying to make America great again. We can't do nothing when the mass of man, right, generally speaking, don't want to do anything, don't want to create prosperity even for themselves, because it starts with the individual. But you think we're going to do this on a massive level? No. And we also have a very bad dependency problem, right, in America, right? Americans are dependent on everything but themselves. So that's already another problem. They like the system. This is what I'm starting to realize, right? Men actually, it is so bad, right? Men actually want the system. They want the system because that system is the only thing that they're comfortable in, right? You hear men talk about, the matrix this and matrix that, right? Men are okay with being in the matrix. That's what I'm starting to realize. They're okay with it because the matrix is their comfort zone. The matrix is mediocrity, right? The matrix is lack of ambition. The matrix is lack of motivation. The matrix is lack of beautiful women. The matrix is not traveling. The matrix is sitting at home playing video games, right? That's the matrix. And many men are okay with that. The matrix is watching pornography to girls you'll never smash in your life. That's the matrix. And many men are okay with it. So miss me with men are trying to do this. Men are talkers. That's all that they are, right? They sit back and watch these Legion of Incel YouTube channels. They just talk all that junk in the comment section. Nobody's going to do a damn thing. And that's an after pill. Make sure you sign up for the Patreon. Make sure you become a YouTube members. Make sure you sign up for the story time, right? I'm dropping stories over there, stories that you want to hear, many stuff that I can't tell on a main channel, right? And if you haven't caught my last video, when I was breaking down my application that I'm actually making, my AI app that I'm actually making. If you're not a member, you probably missed it, right? It is on the Patreon and it's also on the member side. I told you I'll be revealing information on my moves and what I'm doing and how I'm building systems and how I'm maneuvering out here. So listen, you might want to get in before the prices go up. Become a YouTube member, right? Become a Storytime member, right? Or you can just become a member to support the channel, or you can become a Patreon member and you can have access to all my older videos. I have hundreds of my older videos, live streams up on the Patreon that I took down from the YouTube. So if you want to catch that and see how my mind has developed over the past 2 years, sign up for the Patreon, watch those videos so you can see how I developed the after pill and how I came into the escape blueprint and how I came into the PFP life, right? Purpose, freedom, and power. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here. And I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP life. A way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint. PFP Life.